What if Napoleon won at Waterloo? On June 18, 1815, he lost by a margin so thin historians still argue about the exact moment it turned. But here's the twist most people miss. Even if he'd won, it might not have mattered. Wellington and Blucher's armies weren't the whole coalition. Roughly 700,000 more Austrian and Russian troops were already mobilizing and marching toward France, forces that barely fired a shot at Waterloo. Most historians agree, a French win here just delays the reckoning. It doesn't prevent it. So, play it out. Napoleon wins big, thanks in part to a stronger showing 2 days earlier at Ligny, and takes Brussels. Some historians think he could have pushed as far as the Rhine and the Scheldt. But he doesn't get to enjoy it. Word arrives, the real coalition army is closing in on Paris. He has to turn around and race home to defend the capital. And here's where the story most people imagine ends, actually keeps going. Within weeks, maybe a few months, he's beaten anyway. Not by Wellington, not by Blucher, by Austria and Russia. That single detail, who actually delivers the final blow, is bigger than it sounds. Because the empire that beats you gets to write the piece that follows. France, having risen twice now, doesn't get to just quietly restore the old king and move on. Some historians think this version of France doesn't have a clean succession at all, that it risks sliding into civil war, while the powers outside argue over who gets to decide its future. And while everyone's watching France collapse in on itself, Britain, less central to this fight than it was in our history, quietly ends up stronger anyway. Distracted empires lose colonies. Britain doesn't miss the opportunity. So no, winning at Waterloo doesn't save Napoleon's empire. Almost every historian agrees on that part. But it changes who beats him, how France falls apart, and who's sitting at the table when the real piece gets written. And that piece, not the battle, is what actually reshapes the next 100 years. That's part 2.